wrapped up in my sleeping bag, looking out the window at Aaron's house as the sun is beginning to creep over the horizon. And the trees are silhouetted black against the emerging blue sky with the fading stars up in the sky. And I think to myself how much I hate Aaron because he's got it fucking made with this fantastic house of his, this nice little piece of property tucked away out in the backwoods of South Dakota. God, I fucking hate him. I hope he dies. I hope he dies of syphilis. You piece of shit.
So for a while, quite until recently, let's say past 5 years, I would somewhat regularly get recruiters reaching out to me, or bot recruiter, whatever, an entity in the form of a corporation, maybe or maybe not employing an actual human being, would either be programmed to reach out to me, a software thing was programmed to reach out to me, or a actual human. It doesn't matter. The whole point is like, hey, we got some banking opportunities for you in this community or area. And they weren't low rank. By the time I left banking, vice president, it was a good resume. I mean, at least on paper. The only thing missing from my resume is I didn't suck micro banker dick. And I'd tell you if you had a shitty loan, but you guys are going to make your loans anyway. Oh, are you all fired? Some of them told they did. They did. He did. How'd that work? You bankers are such pussies. Anyway, so it was, senior, if not executive, junior executive type of stuff. And it was one of those deals where I was doing the old Chad Elkins Japanese refusal, where they'd reach out to me and I'd email back. I'm like, sure, $200,000 minimum per year salary, insurance, 401k match, and anywhere between a $50,000 to a $200,000 signing bonus, non-refundable, and we'll talk. We'll talk. We'll discuss our talk. We'll just talk about discussing. And surprise, no one got back to. I remember one reached out to, it was a real human being, because then they responded. I saw your resume. Oh my God, it's highly impressive. Why are you even having me come? Wait, look. If you're just going to approve the loans anyway, why do you even need a lending department? Just give them the money. Say, yes, it conforms with standardized lending and sell it on the second market. What do you need me for? But the guy says, oh, we got this, a great team. I said, would my boss be a boomer? And he's like, yes. I say, not interested. Let me make this abundantly clear. I swear by my pretty blue bonnet, I will commit crimes of not violence. I will steal before I ever go work in banking again. I'll come up with some crazy scat. You know what I'll do? I'll do legal stealing like most of you financiers do. I'll come up with a cool sounding thing, and I'm going to have a hot chick be the CEO, at least the front, she'll be the front gal. You horny, decrepit, wrinkly, penis, ballless men will want to fuck her. And then just like that Elizabeth Holmes gal, you'll fund her to the tune, you fund me to the tune of several $1 billion. I'm going to pay all my buddies. We're all going to be corporate executives. Oh my God, we're such serious people. Oh my goodness, this person. Chad Elkins has an MBA. We need him. Obviously, he's the CFO. Athen would be the COO. So technology and buzzwords and phrases and things and leverage this and synergies that and hyperbole this. I understand if you don't understand it. It's pretty complicated. Hey, I'll show you. I'll give you money. Literally, that's how all these bullshit things are. And then I'll just say, oops, the testing came back. It didn't work. And then me and my buddies were paid $10 million a piece as corporate executives because you wanted to fuck the hot girl that I hired. And don't tell me that ain't true. Anyway, I'll resort to stealing before I ever come work for you cocksucking bankers again. And it took a long time. That was an 18-year career, from 18, starting as an intern, to 36, where I think that was my last year at 36. Yeah, it's like 14 years since I've been in banking. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I'm self-employed. And I'm one of them fake, I consult and I'm independent. No, I'm legit self-employed. You guys should try frugality sometimes. Anyway, it took me 18 years to figure that out. And I got a spate of articles came out about it, turns out 10 months ago, because I had to deal with shit. And I wanted to highlight this, and it's good to see that the young people, many thanks to the internet, are not falling into the traps my generation and the millennials did. It's good to see you Zoomers. I keep cheering you on. I think you're a little wackadoo on this socialism shit. Wish you'd read history. But I love how you're telling these corporate motherfuckers, not only these baby boomers, but now Gen X bosses, to just go pound sand, eat a bag of dicks, get fucked. And I think the cat's out of the bag. I think everyone kind of knows that corporate America is bullshit. No, you don't want to work downtown. Why would we commute? That whole lie. What's a portfolio suite? A whole suite of lies that work together. A bunch of software that works together. A suite of lies where you have the culture downtown. You had girls in pencil skirts. You had the lie that they would fuck you. You had the lie that you would get promoted based on work ethic and meritocracy, and that the business was being managed in the best long-term interest. So just logically, right? Well, wouldn't that make sense? Oh, no, we gotta have that mean or efficiently, where our time is not wasted. And then all of you were going to make 6 figs, bro, but now more modernly 150,000, bro, because inflation. Because now here's where you Zoomers screwed up. You voted for the free money, which isn't free. It just perpetually and forever and permanently increases your prices. When you print off money to pay for stimmy checks. Do you remember the stimmy checks? 5 years? Never mind. What do I know? I'm no economist. Anyway, like a lot of lies, like nearly all of the lies, the internet, for anyone who slightly want to open up their eyes and remove the wool from their eyes, you could see that all these lies are falling apart. No, marriage is not an acceptable proposition for men. No, women don't like you that much. No, women don't like sex that much. No, you are not going to get ahead based on hard work. It's nepotism and more modernly discriminatory traits by which people are promoted. No, the business is not managed by. No, the adults do not know what they're doing. The people in charge do not know what they're doing. No, your captain is not sober. He is drunk. He is very drunk. And I think the Zoomers like the first generations to not believe the lies more than believe the lies, right? There's still some of you who think that you want to go work at the Big Four, using that as kind of a canary in the coal mine, the Big Four. We can't find people. And there's still some true believers coming from the blue bloods and the top echelon schools. You're going to go work for the Big Four or a white shoe law firm or the bulge bracket or whatever. But it's done, man. You do not have a lock. You don't have people flood into the coast or downtown like you did in 1995. It's over. And it all starts with a lot of the boys, especially, not going to college. But everyone's got to work, right? Everyone has to work. Unless you're a Democrat and you're on welfare, then you just live off of disproportionately white people. Let's just be honest. But they do get a job. And I do believe a lot. Most people, I believe, want to work. A lot don't, but I think most people do. It has to be tenable. They're not expecting puppies and flowers and celebrations. And, like all those girls from the suburbs did their videos about like, oh my God, a day in the life of spoiled pain in the ass Brad X. They just want it to be possible. They don't want you to lie about the job or the job description. They want it to be reasonably stable. Now, I've said it before, increasingly things are just not becoming possible. It is not possible. It is unacceptable. It is not tenable. You are insane to expect young people to go to school from 5 to 22, go into debt for those last 4 years of college, maybe 6 if you get a master's degree, for you to give them a job that is not going to be around, that doesn't pay a living wage, and they can't live off of. Again, not a Democrat, not a socialist, not by any stretch of the imagination. But facts are facts. If you don't pay a living wage, don't expect people to come work for you. And also using the Big Four as the canary in the coal mine, and a perfect example. What's their solution for all of you who got your master's degree and for your CPA, you went to the right school, and they're outsourcing it. to India and Pakistan, getting AI in, bro. I think that will bite people in the ass. And then it's precious, you boomers coming in there. These dang kids these days, they don't have a work ethic. No, they don't like being slaves. I mean, in a certain sense, you're all slaves K through college because you're working, but you're not getting paid. And you sure the fuck aren't getting an education unless you go into something very specific and precise like engineering or accounting. But you are a slave to the adult generation, namely the teachers in that case, too. You're just a glorified, overpaid babysitting operation and Democrat recruitment program. It's all it is. Like, if they taught you something worthwhile and gave you a real education, well, then you should be able to find a living wage job by 18, which if I was ever king, President Cap, I'm like, nope, by the age of 18, you've had them for 13 years. If they don't come out with an employable skill, boy, I don't know what's going to happen to the teachers union. I don't know what happened. Did you see how they didn't have a meeting one day? No one showed up. I don't know what happened. Now we got a federal education program where kids are given a trade in skill by the eighth grade. Yeah, and they make $50 an hour at 14. It's amazing what happened. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know where the teachers went. I don't know. Oh, it's a kind of curious. It's a Scooby-Doo mystery where they went. Well, since I will never be president, because frankly, I don't want to give up my right to drive, look it up. I am happy to see the internet getting you kids a lot more street smart about the bullshit the adults are trying to sell you. This is from Newsweek, which is bullshit publication, but there's one bit of data. Then I found another article with real data. February of 2025, why Gen Z are turning down promotions. Oh no, bro. In the corporate world, climbing the ladder has traditionally been seen as the ultimate goal. However, a growing number of young professionals are rejecting promotions in favor of work-life balance and personal priorities. Oh, no. Bro, what are you going to do without your fucking little lieutenants being, groomed to be assholes like you? See, corporations say employees are the best assets, but they don't mean it. But what's ironic is they are the best asset. A computer is a computer. That's an asset. It's a physical asset. It's not a human being. It's a non-human being asset. Do you know how good that computer is? If you don't have humans around, right? I don't care. It could be the same computer across all these different companies. Unless you got the right person operating it, that determines the same tools, right? It's who's wielding the tools that determines your productivity. If you would care to train your employees, pay them a fair wage so there's no turnover, you probably have tremendously successful, productive companies, factories, software, whatever. But nope, you're going to outsource to AI, bro. Going to hire Pakistanis, bro. Hit the ground running, bro. And these kids like, nah, we're not doing it. No. You got the boomers, you got the Xers, you got most of the millennials. You're not getting us. We saw what happened to our dad. We saw what happened to our grandfather. We saw what happened to our older brother. We're not doing it. No. And frankly, they can, not with the wages you're paying them and the ridiculous college education requirements. They just can't. Go watch my video, how corporations will end materialism and ultimately themselves. It's on the video tab, not the live tab. It's the video tab. If you don't pay people enough to live, you're not going to have customers. Again, you don't have to be an economist to be. I understand you want to keep costs down, right? You don't want to overpay. I get it. Man, corporations work 3 times harder than they have to trying to replace employees than if you just gave them a 15% raise and some training and didn't fuck with them. Oh, anyway, the cat's out of the bag and people on the internet, especially people like Josh Fluke. I'm a fucking nobody compared to Josh Fluke, but they're exposing it to the younger people and you're fucked. Economics Ethan, he's done more to save so many people the hell of going and working in finance, which that actually, a lot of that can be outsourced by programs and algorithms because, well, it's mostly math. And now people are starting to realize, no, there's no future there. I'm going to stay at home and play my video games and collect my Pokemon cards. In 2024, Amsterdam-based staffing firm Randstad's annual Work Monitor report revealed that 39% of workers are uninterested in promotion, while 42% said they would turn down a promotion altogether. Wow. 4 in 10, huh? For 25-year-old Emma, the decision to forego promotions is a deliberate and deeply personal one. This is a girl. This is a girl boss. This is your crown pinnacle creation, Democrats, corporations, and schools and teachers. A 20-something girl boss. Did your brainwashing work? Let's tune in. A short answer would be because of my life priorities. There's more to life than work. Oh, no. One got off the plantation. Quick, somebody hunt her down. Especially how a lot of jobs are subjecting employees into bad working conditions, Emma told Newsweek. Despite being relatively early in her career, she has already developed a pragmatic view of work. Not pragmatic, not to realize that work is a tool to make money to go live. Oh, no. Emma sees her job strictly as a source of income rather than a defining part of her identity. And that right there, she sees her job strictly as a source of income rather than a defining part of her identity. That is all they tried to brainwash, and successfully so, the past 3 generations of adults. That you are nothing except your job title. And that you should work for free and overtime and all, and then that way you could have status. The brainwashing isn't working anymore. If you can't convince a 25-year-old girl, with probably a college degree, no doubt, that the most important thing about her life was her job, and she's starting to say, yeah, I just view it as a tool to make money and go live. Oh my God, you guys are fucked. And no wonder you're outsourcing overseas. No wonder. Because if people are like, nah, I'm not going to show up, right? There's a fine line between being a lazy sack of shit who's a Democrat and doesn't want to work, and you just like never send out job. And then there's people who want to work, Democrat or Republican or not, but people with a work ethic, but they have self-respect. Your job cannot cost you your life, because then why would you have a job? It cost me my life. Did you think about that? I don't. Not a Democrat. I know I sound awfully Democrat today, right now. What the hell do you corporations have? I know you have your commitment to the shareholders. And I would argue that you might want to think about training and not making it impossible to work for you. And then you could get customer loyalty and lower turnover and higher productivity. But just this question, what do you have against paying people more money? Not to the point it would bankrupt the firm. I get it. Like, say you're Walmart or your grocery store, you're operating on very low margins. I get it. But you come out to me, evil, conservative, libertarian, white, male, straight, peen-eyed person that I am. Say, Aaron, would you want workers to make more or less? I'm like, I prefer they make more. What do you have against that? Why? Oh, a key reason why younger employees she believes that unless a promotion offers a significant salary increase and genuine happiness, it's not worth the additional stress and responsibility. Remember they called them sideways promotions, where you just got a promotion entitled but no pay increase? Fuck you. I remember I did an article about law firms doing that. There's like a vice principal or assistant principal. Like, you're not an actual owner of the firm, but you're like a deputy principal. And so you get to say you're a partner or principal in a law firm, but you have no ownership. Oh, no. No, man. No. Good luck with that. No. Key reason younger people's like Emma are turning down promotions, trade-off between additional responsibilities and what she describes as marginal gains. When the extra workload comes without significant financial compensation, younger people are less likely to jump at the opportunity. I've reached a point wherein I just treat my job as a source of income, nothing more, nothing less, just like how employees are seen as numbers by upper management. Oh, snap! Oh, Herman, what are you going to do with your gray pubes, man? She just slapped you across your face with your own wrinkly dick, but not your dick. It's not that long. She had to grab your balls. Your balls are that down. She just went whoop, 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 whap. You're like, gray pubes in my mouth. They're my own gray pubes. Oh my God, what happened? If this idea gets out, and I think it is, just another reason your corporations are ending. You listen to me. Listen to me. In my lifetime, all you corporations, you will just be logos with the file filed in Delaware with all your shit done shittily overseas, and a corporate executive team here. That's it. And no one here is going to buy your shit. And no one here is going to work for you. That's fine. Well, we're okay. Have fun with that. I don't know who you're going to sell it to, but good luck with that. Watch big ticket items. Ford, especially Ford, but any of the auto manufacturers domestically, which there are technically only two, Ford and GM, but you could call Stellantis, formerly Chrysler. Are young people buying your cars? It's not because they don't want to. It's because they can't, and also they don't want to. You've made it unaffordable. Willing and able, not just willing, and they're not even willing. Emma's concerns echo a wider sentiment among Gen Z workers who feel little loyalty towards employers who, in their view, see them as expendable. They are. You are. She argued that with the rise of artificial intelligence, remote work, and employee-employer relationship is more fractured than ever. Definitely younger people like me are starting to turn down promotions because companies are not truly loyal to their employees. We are replaceable. With the advent of AI, this disconnect will eventually become more apparent. This is an incredibly well-spoken young lady. Bravo to you, Emma. I hope you're doing well. Employers and employees will eventually drift apart due to clashing interests, she said. Inevitably. Dude, day one that you start at a job, they're already trying to find a way to fire you. You and everyone else. We're seeing a major inflection point for what a career means, and it's showing up among younger employees in a major way. Rita McGrath, a Columbia School professor, business school professor, and CEO advisor to Fortune 500 companies, told Newsweek, "Are you doing a bang-up job there, lady?" Whereas in the past, employees would often stay in one company and climb the corporate ladder, McGrath explained that younger people are changing the way they build a career. Portfolio careers, side hustles, gig work, and many alternative forms of making a living all offer things that many workers find highly motivational, she explained. And increasingly, jobs in management are seen as unrewarding, stressful, and unfulfilling for many. It is also impossible. No, listen to me. We are at the point now. It is easier and way more profitable for you to just go start a lawn mowing, landscaping company business right now. We just mow people's yards, do a little bit of landscaping, whatever. That is going to pay a higher wage than you going to college and working in corporate America. Again, unless you're some high-level IT engineer type of person. But just going and being a handyman, a fix-it man, working on the railroad, a chimney cleaner, whatever else, you're going to get paid about the same, if not more, if you manage it correctly, with none of the hassle and the bullshit. I mean, there's other forms of hassle and bullshit. You got to do your own taxes and all. But there's no commute. It doesn't even compare. Listen to me, corporate America. People could start a lawn mowing company starting in middle school and make more money by the time they're in high school than getting a 6-year degree and going and working for your dumbasses. For boomers, companies offered the prospects that accepting the next promotion was a guarantee of a bright future. Increasingly, that bargain no longer exists. As I like to say, companies have done a terrific job of teaching their people that there's no such thing as loyalty, and now employers are returning the favor. Ultimately, Emma believes that career decisions should be based on personal fulfillment rather than societal expectations. What? Oh, no, you don't get the promotion? You're not regional assistant director? My overarching opinion would be that people should turn down things that do not make their lives better. Bravo. It's a what a wise young lady. She said, if a promotion would hamper personal ties with family and friends by missing out on events and by drastically changing how they manage their 24 hours, then people should turn down the promotion. After all, we work to live, not the other way around. Nice. Bravo, Emma. Now, here's one with a little more numbers. RobertWalters.co.uk. This is in the UC. This is in the UC, the formerly white nation known as UC. Free shit and good feelings. Oh, my goodness. Free shit and good feelings. Tiff, tip. Come on in, everybody. We can make the money printer go. Margaret Thatcher. Oh, my God. Heavens, man. She expected us to what for a living? Don't you know we're British? Yes, come in. Oh, so here's some free money. Don't worry. Our stupid people will vote for it. Yes. 52% of Gen Z professionals don't want to be middle managers. 72% of Gen Z would choose an individual route to progression over managing others. 63% of professionals think senior professionals value middle management more than their younger peers. 69% of Gen Z say middle management is too high stress, low reward. Oh my God. It's the end of downtown where all the action is. It took me like 10 seconds, especially with the internet, to know the commuting was bullshit. It took me a little bit while longer to realize. It took me years to find out, and they cost me everything in life. It took me years at least a decade to realize no one in this is in the 90s and the aughts. That's how long ago this was. It's worse now. None of you are offering an acceptable proposition for employment. None of you. Double the amount of Gen Z would opt for a flat structure over a hierarchical one. All right, well, look, you don't get a flat. There has to be a leader, guys. All right, here's where you're dumb. This is where you listen to your stupid teachers too much. Knock it off with this socialist utopia. It ain't going to happen. I mean, it can happen, but you're not going to like it. There has to be a leader. There has to be lieutenants. There has to be a hierarchy. 89% of employers still think that middle managers play a crucial role in their organization. Then why is it? I think Google is getting rid of all of them. There's another article that Joshua Fluke covered. They got rid of all these middle managers. They're trying to replace them with AI. And I'm like, I think you can, because those jobs shouldn't have existed in the first place. Over half of Gen Z professionals don't want to take on middle management role in their career, while 36% expect they will have to at some point in their career, despite not wanting to. A further 16% are adamant they'll avoid middle management altogether. Well, that's just you're going to have to pay people for their time. Earlier this year, major U.S. corporations such as Meta and Citigroup announced job cuts, of which middle management roles made up 30%. Okay, leading to the period being tipped as the great unbossing. Now, new research from leading talent solutions, Robert Walters. Well, you're just writing this about yourself? AaronClary.co.uk. Aaron Clary voted greatest man alive on face of earth, according to AaronClary.uk survey. Reveals a growing disillusion with mid-level management roles among younger professionals in the UC. Prefer a route to progression. Robert Walters' poll found that 70% Gen Z would actually opt for an individual route to advance their career, one which focuses on personal growth and skills accumulation over taking a management role, versus 28%. Lucy Bisett, director of Robert North Walters, comments, Gen Z are known for their entrepreneurial mindset. No, it's not entrepreneurial. They just don't want to work for you assholes. Preferring to bridge their whole self to projects and spend time cultivating their own brand and approach rather than spending time managing others. However, the reluctance to take on middle management role could spell trouble for employers later on down the line. Hey, yeah, you guys get to worry about that. For over 10 years, I've been saying a solution to a lot of your problems is, have you thought about paying people more money? Unanimously, 3/5 of professionals point to older generations valuing middle management roles considerably more than the younger colleagues, with only a fifth taking it equally valued across professionals at different ages. Lucy notes, more senior professionals have usually committed years to one company, working their way years. Dude, I don't think I lasted. Well, I guess I did last a year in several companies. I rarely made it 2 years. Rarely. Look at me now. Hey, kids, tell your boss to fuck off and go be a whore. Okay? You paying me more? See ya. Bye. They're paying me more. Well, Mike, I got a question. I got a question for you, boomers. Comment down below. Are you still trying to do that loyalty bullshit? Like, oh, you really should honor. You're like, they get there, and they take a job offer, then they get a better job offer. Oh, you should go with your word. No, fuck your word. No. Oh, they paid more money. Sorry, bye. It's like your wife is banging some other guy, and then she finds out you're banging some other gal. Like, how dare you? Shut up. You're doing it. Get the fuck out of here. Younger professionals have entered the workforce in larger remote and hybrid capacity with a huge focus on digital capabilities and are less inclined towards complete company loyalty. Management stretched thin. When asked about the main deterrents of taking on middle management roles, 69% of Gen Z professionals stated they were too high stress, low reward. I had a youngish man. He was more millennial. Was it banking? He was working in some white collar profession. He got a job. Yeah. He had a job. It was a nightmare. He went and worked for the competition. His old boss says, come on back. I'll give you more money. He got back. It's still a shit job. To the point it's not tenable. 75% of middle managers admit to feeling overwhelmed, stressed, and burnt out. The future team base, only 14% of Gen Z professionals think the traditional hierarchical structure is still fit for purpose, whilst over double, 30% would offer a flat team-based structure if given a choice. Oh no. They're going to do it on their own, or you're among peers. The line goes across, not up. Ba 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 ba. Praising unballs culture. Ba ba ba. Yeah, just conclusions that does not involve paying people more money. There you go. That's it. Just want to read that. Wanted to keep what's the word? Not promoting, though promoting to. I want to keep cheering on Gen Z to stand for yourself. Do not take offers that are beneath you. Demand a modicum of respect and a fair wage. And and if they give you any bullshit, you're going to have to go self-employed. I've been talking about this for over almost 2 decades now, probably. The future is self-employment. It is just what it is. But you are better off, like, literally building your own home, being secular Amish, fixing your own car, doing landscape. It's just anything but working. White-collar America is not acceptable. Is not acceptable. Y'all should stop going to college. All right, I got to get going here pretty soon. Cyberbully, $10. There's a trend with Gen Z called Euromaxing. It's basically emulating the European lifestyle in the U.S. Sit around in coffee shops and barely work. Gen Z can't even start a career anyway. Right, I don't blame them. Show me where the living wages are, where you're not fucking outsourcing everything overseas or just flooding the market with immigrants. Again, illegal or not, I don't care. You'll get people to start working for you again in this country when people realize, when people are under the belief that the country isn't constantly trying to screw them over. And it is. You're offering them slavery. Well, if you won't, we'll find a Pakistani who does. Well, go hire him then. Cyberbully, $5. Have you spoken to Amandabi in New York City? I'm 28 and the girls my age love him. I think he's my generation's Obama. Yeah, he is. He's a good looking dude. No, because there's nothing to say about it. Women who hate all the men that rejected them in the past will always vote Democrat to ruin your labor market, your country, and your community. So there's that. He's a handsome guy. Girls are told to vote for him because that's what they're done. That's what they do. And I can't get excited. I'm not that worried about Mom Donnie in New York City because New Yorkers have always voted in socialists. It's just that he's honest about it. All the Democrats they've had before, like, what's the difference between Mondami and whoever? Is it Patchouli? Who's the governor of New York right now? Patchwork? Whatever the fuck her name is. Okay, so he's going to do city grocery stores? All right. You know what's going to hurt? Democrats in New York City. I don't care. Look, you guys want to keep sleeping with people who got herpes? Go ahead. I don't care what you Democrats do. I love the fact that Minneapolis is, they get their buildings burnt down and they're going to have a Somali governor or mayor or whatever. Okay. It doesn't mean the Somali can't run. I mean, if you were a conservative or libertarian and sensible, it doesn't matter who you are. But no, he's a foreign agent and he's just going to, but I can't think of a better group of people that deserve Mamdani than New Yorkers. I think you guys deserve, and you're going to get exactly what you got. So I don't have much to say about them. Also pointing out that how is it going to be any different than the previous? Because Democrats have been socialists for at least 20 years. At least. Drew, friend has told me that as soon as the Zoomers find out they have to go into an office, no matter the money, they decline the job offer as they should. Good. Good. Keep going, Zoomers. People are like, well, then Gen Z's or Gen X is going to take over, and then or the millennials will fight. They'll be happy to take those. No one's taking those jobs. They're not acceptable. Okay, Lord, 10 generous dollars. I just found out from my friend who was a reference for an accounting job I applied for that I am massively overqualified. I asked if they had an internal candidate in mind. It was the internal candidate. Yes. Yes. See, another reason people just the number of jobs that they put out there that are actually available to the public is minimal. Listen to me. Listen to me. It is no different than online dating. The percentage of women on those dating apps that are actually interested in dating is less than 10%. You should do the same thing with white collar work and all that as you do with dating apps. No, I'm not doing it. You have every right. Is there really a job or is this just a fake bullshit job? Okay, Lord, $5. Like, what the fuck? I applied for this job and I'm okay with the pay. The HR told me, why am I applying for a job that is above my abilities? Above your abilities? Because I need the money. Or you mean below your abilities? Robert Archer, he's happy he's retired. We got kids down the street learning how to tune carburetors. What engines are still carbureted? You are using old school tech there, old man. By, as they put it, grumpy fogies with a tool addiction. Have a good one, Cappy. Well, you know what? Those kids will be employed because they can clean the carburetor in my motorcycle, and I know I'm being a hypocrite because my motorcycles are carbureted. Justify my seg, I need $2. The more I see, the more I'm glad I'm in government accounting. Debbie Gibson, $2. Great one chose me because I don't ask to peg him. Dung is fun. $5. My brother-in-law got offered a salary with the title of manager. He said no. He makes more on overtime than a salary will cover and more responsibility. Yeah, that's another thing. Is you need the salary? No, you're paying me for every hour. There used to be a debate about that. Unless you got kids, you need the health insurance. No, it's almost always better go hourly. No, I'm not going salary. I mean, contractor, remain a contractor all day, every day. We'd like to bring you on full time. I already do work full time, but we'd like you to be salary, become an actual W-2 employee. No, I like it here. But then you get pizza Fridays. Watisian, 10 generous dollars. How does this apply to military service today, in your opinion? It does not apply. The military is basically, in 9 out of 10 times, the best job offer or offer on the table for young people today, especially those just starting out, whether you're graduating from high school or you're coming out of college. Watch my video, No One Takes You Serious, or Don't Try Until You're 35. It's kind of along that line. And going into the military, even though it does have its drawbacks, like basic training, you might get a shitty job, you got to be out in the cold, it pays a lot more in terms of food, clothing, and shelter, healthcare, and the GI Bill, not to mention a minimum amount of lifetime healthcare through the VA. There's not a better offer for young people today, especially if you're poor and don't have wealthy parents to kind of carry you through your teens and your 20s. So, and a lot of people who join the military say I'm full of bullshit and you don't know. And I'm like, yeah, unless you were in combat, buddy, I'm gonna pit my miserable experience working full time, going to school full time, but you're on the fucking campus and 30 below zero and being starved of food and sleep deprived. I'm gonna still say, yeah, unless you're in war, you're shot at. I'm gonna guess being a file clerk at the Pentagon, even if you got your stripes, is probably a little bit easier than working at McDonald's or bussing tables. All right. And the pay is a lot better too. Not your actual income, all the other fringe benefits. Oh, by the way, if you join the military, you could just say you're no longer filing clerk paperwork. You're getting shot at. So there's that. Is a 20-year career for government pension and healthcare worth it? Yeah, it might be. I would, if I had to, I would go the 20-year government pension route because no matter where you work, it's bullshit. All right. Government, the main bullshit there is you have to deal with the tedium and the minutia and just not enough work. You'd be bored out of your mind. You think, well, work where there's not enough work. That sounds great. No, try looking busy for 20 years. That's the price you pay there. The private sector, everyone's getting laid off. You're doing with backstab in politics. They get a grand DEI stand up their hooch, and they're all like, "Oh my God, we got to fire all the white guys. We only can promotion. Whatever. Oh, now we're changing that. Now the next thing is AI. We're outsourcing. Like there's no stability there, but you could, become a contractor and sort of make money. I would say the military/government worker is the easier of the two, but it is not a walk in the park either, especially if you go into infantry and get deployed. Then you may come back missing an arm. Or is the private sector a better bet? No, I wouldn't think. I would say the private sector is not a better bet. Now, self-employment, if you could find a field like the world's greatest accounting career, if you're interested in becoming an accountant, take a look up the world's greatest accounting career. It's available on Teachable. Me and Chad talk about how you navigate a career in accounting. Or just handyman, landscape, or whatever. You're your own self-employed individual. I'd say that's the best of the three. But nothing prevents you from coming up with an entrepreneurial side hustle, especially if it's digital, while you're in the military. Now, you may have an obligation. Oh, no, you can't. You gotta do military things, or you're a government worker and you got security clearance. Well, no, you can't do those things. So there might be some restrictions. But yeah, I would go military/government over the private sector almost any day. But self-employment would be the key. Chad Twizzler Stroke, $2. Thanks for doing the Robert Rogers Clary test cap. Yeah, I didn't know what the big deal. I mean, it was a tragic, sad story. And then okay, Lord, $2. Yes, I meant to say below, typo. Yeah, no, we figured out. Why would they want to pay someone a lower salary for higher skills? You just go work for someone. I remember coming out here to Rapid City long ago, and I was willing to take a $12 an hour job because I just want to get the fuck out of Minneapolis. They said, but you have a college degree. I'm like, I don't care. Well, you'll just go work for someone else. This is like in the thick of the recession. I'm like, no one's hiring. That right there should tell all you young people how dumb corporate management is. Here's an overqualified person willing to work for you for X number of dollars, which is below, and they're obviously going to be better at the job. Oh, no, we can't hire you because you go work for someone else. Or maybe I work for you and you promote me within. Listen to me. Working for American corporations is like trying to date American women. It's just a nightmare. I don't mean like the experience is unpleasant. That is true. But the reason it's unpleasant is because the process is a nightmare. Nothing makes sense. Words are contradictory. It's always a fluid changing dynamic. They say X, they meant Y. They said Y, it inevitably being X. And at the end of the day, you're like, fuck this shit. I don't have time for it. I just do not have time for it. All right. Link below, how not to become a millennial. Also, if you're interested in a career, I recommend you look into accounting. And if you say, you look into accounting on the internet, say, I think I'd like this. Me and Chad have a course out there called The World's Greatest Accounting Career. It teaches you how to navigate an accounting career and get basically remotely and self-employed as quickly as possible, though that's not the only path described in that book or that course. All right, we'll see you guys later, Toodles.